Clerics are often seen as the parents of the party, making sure the reckless children have packed their healing potions and have their armour looked after. However, not all clerics have to be like that. Today we will go through the choices you have to make when we are making a cleric and all of their abilities. Before we get going though, please do leave your best cleric stories in the comments below. I have a daily series where I post D&D stories, and I may feature some of my favourites from the comments of this video in that. So, I've already made a video about making a character from scratch and how to calculate the numbers that you can assign to your scores, so I won't be covering that here, but we will be talking about which abilities to prioritise. Simply, a cleric needs wisdom. They cast all of their spells using wisdom and generally is seen as the wise member of the party. Therefore, you should assign your highest score to wisdom if you are creating a cleric. After that, it's really up to you. There are benefits to all the other stats depending on what your vibe is. For example, some clerics carry weapons and are frontline fighters, as well as casting spells. In that case, you'll need good strength and constitution. Another possible vibe of a cleric is a charismatic religious leader, who would then need a really good charisma score. This would help you to convince people of things and maybe deceive and intimidate as well. The one thing to mention here, given it's quite versatile, is to make sure you are aware of your weaknesses and maybe talk with the other players in your party to understand what their weaknesses are so that you can cover each other. Now, we can talk about what a cleric gets. They get a d8 as a hit dice and are proficient in wisdom and charisma saving throws. They also have a choice of 2 proficiencies from history, insight, medicine, persuasion or religion. On top of that, they can use simple weapons, light and medium armour, and shields if they want to. As with most classes, the main choice that you get is the 2 skills that you should be proficient in. That's fully up to you, but my recommendations are religion and insight as they fit the vibe of a generic cleric. However, if you want a slightly different cleric, choose your skills appropriately. For example, a cult leader-esque cleric, you'd probably want persuasion, or for a shrewd confessional priest, you may want insight. The next choice is background and species. I don't think there are any particularly good species for clerics, as all of them have fun features that can work with the class, so I won't recommend any specifically here. As for backgrounds though, it would make sense to go for wisdom-based ones, which include acolyte, farmer, guard, guide, hermit, sailor, sage, scribe, and wayfarer. Some of these can be quite good if at covering other skills if you didn't choose the ones above, such as getting religion or history from here. But I'm more of a fan of picking something like guide or guard to get proficiencies in stealth or athletics. As always, think about what kind of character you want to play and choose your background accordingly. Now we are going to look at the abilities that you get as a cleric. I'm not going to go into detail here as doing all the bits and pieces would lead to this being an hour-long video. I'm just going to rattle them off and you can go and search the exact wording if you need it in the future. The equipment you do get is on screen now, so you can make a note of that before we get going. So, level 1 gives you your spell casting and allows you to choose between martial weapons and heavy armour, or extra spells and extra smarts. Level 2 grants you channel divinity, allowing you a new divine spark and the ability to turn undead. Level 3 gives you your subclass, and level 4 is an ability score improvement. Level 5 improves your turn undead, dealing damage as they flee, and level 6 is another subclass improvement. Level 7 improves your divine spark, and gives you either divine strikes or potent spellcasting. Level 8 is another ability score improvement, and level 9 gives you 5th level spells. Level 10 begins your divine intervention, where you can cast any cleric spell of 5th level or below that you choose. Level 11 gives you a 6th level spell, and level 12 simply ability score increase. Level 13 is 7th level spells, level 14 improves your divine strikes or potent spellcasting, and level 15 is 8th level spell. Level 16 is an ability score increase, level 17 gives you a 9th level spell and a subclass feature, and level 18 just gives you an extra channel divinity. Level 19 is your epic boom, but for level 20 adds wish to the list of spells that you can use during using your channel divinity, letting your deity shape the world for you. So there are a variety of good items for clerics, and I'll outline some of them here. The most obvious is the Amulet of the Devout, which improves your spellcasting modifier and DC, but also gives you an extra channel divinity. Besides that, it can depend on the type of cleric that you are. If you chose to go for a more melee-based design, then you will want a cool magic weapon eventually, and maybe some armour or an Amulet of Health. On the other hand, if you are staying at the back, then you may want some additional items that boost the party. It really comes down to what you want, and there are a lot of magic items that are in the DMG and in other books, so it just comes down to what you think would be the most fun. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this helpful. Please put your favourite stories about clerics in the stories below, and do subscribe to not miss druids, which is where we'll be going next week. Ta-ra.